Good morning, colleagues. We start our working day, and I give the floor to the head of the charity foundation, Volonterskyi Desant, Larysa Bezuglova, will talk about psychological rehabilitation of the anti-terrorist operation fighters. Good morning, everybody. I'm Larysa Bezuglova. I'm head of the board of Volonterskyi Desant Charity Foundation, and our foundation has started its work not long ago, but we already have specific results, and everybody knows what's the state of our guys who come back from the front, how it is difficult and how sometimes our society sees this from the point of view of its unpreparedness to the problems that we meet. The guys are denerved, they have traversed a difficult road, and our task is to correctly perceive them and to help them in rehabilitation here when they come back from the East. What I wanted to tell you is that, for instance, our foundation has broadened the area of our activity. We're now not only into the assistance and sending the fatigues and close to the anti-terrorist operation zone, but we also accompany them when, after their difficult road, after they've been wounded, they've underwent surgery, and they are now coming back to grips with their psychological state. So we cooperate with psychologists. Our volunteers go to 2 hospitals, one in Irpin and another, the military clinical hospital here in Kiev. Last week we went to the rehabilitation center in the town of Tarasolova, where we look after disabled children. Why we are expanding our activities? The anti-terrorist operation is a very important topic, but we shouldn't forget about the needs of those disabled children who cannot be paid adequate attention from the Ukrainian state. And we know that when the kids, the disabled children with mental problems, you just imagine how difficult this is. And the society looks after them until some time, until 25 years in this case. And then they have an opportunity to go to a vocational school where the girls are being taught to become stitchers, and the guys are painters, taught to be painters, and then they face the same problems as our fighters. We have bought fleece jackets at one time in the past, and we got some small size jackets which fit those kids, those teenagers, so we brought them those fleece jackets and some medicines. And that was kind of a transfer from fighters from the Special Charitable Foundation to the kids. And we also gave them some ibuprofen, Fervex, Imgalipt, and other medicines that children need when in the spring they face some diseases. And we invite everyone who wants to join us, and the management of the boarding school asked us to come with artists and maybe some teachers of art. We have to bring their albums and pencils so that the teachers teach these kids something. This is about rehabilitation at the orphanage. Last week we also, I wanted to say that we had a huge batch of humanitarian help. Here are the documents. So we gave to the cartographic Center of the Armed Forces a cartographic equipment to the tune of more than 100,000 hryvnia, and this is not a pinpointed help. We have reorganized our fund from Come Back Alive to Volonterskyi Desant, and we've given out humanitarian help for more than 2 million hryvnia. At the moment, we've bought 11 servers, and we've bought another server and a accumulator so that our cartographic center goes to another qualitatively new level. Previously, they used to print those maps in a conventional way with paints, and this was very costly, and the state was allocating a huge sums of money for this. But these 11 mobile centers that are now in the anti-terrorist operation zone provide us with the opportunity to print a map in situ. And you know, you don't have to run a circulation of 1,000 or 10,000. You may print out 1 or 2 maps. And this is very important for the entire topographic service system. We wanted to thank for the acquisition of this huge server and this accumulator battery to our sponsor Tarasolova, who has just sent money to our charity foundation, and we were able to make this purchase. And today, about other important things.
Наприклад, з 9 до 6, да, як прийнято думати, а він живе цілодобово. Я вам скажу чесно, що в суботу в нас поступив дзвінок про те, що один із благодійників, це Поступаленко Олександр, він в нас мешканець іншої країни, це Америки, він нам передає машину, машина джип, зараз джип Широкі Спорт Ауто, конкретно для одного з бійців. Але ми передаємо її на 72-гу окрему мотопіхотну бригаду. Ця передача буде відбуватися сьогодні, і я дуже запрошую всіх мас-медійників, хто хоче відзняти цей матеріал, особисто поспілкуватися з Поступаленком Олександром, з нами, тобто все засняти, як то кажуть, подати інформацію із уст в уста і напряму, приїхати до нас. Ми розташовуємося на Гончара 52, на Олеся Гончара 52, і якраз о 1-й годині буде відбуватися ця передача. Буде запрошено керівництво 72-ї окремої мотопіхотної бригади, укладені акти прийому передач. І що ще головне я хотіла сказати, що Олександр Поступаленко, він зробив подарунок не тільки від себе особисто, а також була залучена така організація, як Лондон Євромайдан. І от Лондон Євромайдан там на місці зібрав дуже великий, такий потужну передачу. Це і оснащення, це і одяг для бійців, різноплановий, і взуття, спеціальні якісь речі, військові, про які я не можу говорити, але це все передається. І тобто це все сьогодні буде мати змогу все відзняти, показати і напряму, тобто поінформувати населення про те, що дійсно фонд він працює, дійсно допомога, яка до нас надходить, вона надходить напряму. Тобто ми є тим ланцюжком, частиною ланцюжка для того, щоб допомога дійшла до конкретної особи, або конкретній особі, або конкретному пораненому, або конкретній установі. Від медичної установи до, як вже я зазначала, до дитячих будинків, до родин, якими навіть ми будемо опікуватися. От, наприклад, вчора мені поступив дзвіночок, тобто, знаєте, інколи допомога доходить навіть, звідки її не очікуєш, і або запрос іде звідти.
Where sometimes you get assistance from where you do not expect to get it. Yesterday one organization called and they are taking care of families with many children. They have more than 170 families that they take care of. and they learned about us from a post in the Facebook. The Facebook is well known, and even in the news they say that this is the news from the Facebook. We have a page in the Facebook. We are called charity organization Volonterskyi Desant. We report every day there. We have a website. You can find us easily. Please write your requests. Who needs assistance? What type of assistance is needed? We will do what we can, because the main task of our foundation and of our board is understanding that the foundation should be transparent, so that every person can follow and can see how the money was used. There's the whole system that we have developed with our colleagues, with our volunteers. I want you to understand that in our foundation, no one makes any personal decisions. We all get together, we discuss all these issues, and only together we do what we do to improve the situation, at least a little bit, to make life easier for our guys and to change the situation in the country. We'll be making some steps. Some people believe that these steps are not big, but for us it's important to make these steps so that people know that there is such a foundation. And we say all the assistance will be transparent. All our reports will be in social networks and on our website. If you want to join our foundation, please come to us. So all the journalists for who this topic is of interest, and now people say that ATO topic is in trend, but we do something very specific. And I also mentioned the families with many children. There is a request, and now they learned from a Facebook that we were giving the medicines. We'll be also giving the jackets for children. You know how difficult it is for a family of 3 or 4. But just imagine if there is a family with 11 children. We have such a family in Kiev. And we are now taking care not of the servicemen only, but the families who need assistance, rehabilitation centers, orphanages. So I invite everyone, please find us in the Facebook, find us on our website, join us. And we received the first 100 grivnas last week, immediately after we posted in the Facebook that we are raising money to help the servicemen. Do I understand it correctly that the Return Alive organization is changing into Volonterskyi Desant? Come Back Alive. There is a charity foundation, Come Back Alive, but Oleksandra Tarasolova, who you all know, she decided to organize a new foundation where the main objective is to show all the activity openly, transparently, And this is again the assistance to the army, to servicemen, and we are expanding our mandate. We'll be helping rehabilitation centers and orphanages as well. But still, could you clarify? We know Come Back Alive, there's the name related to that Denega. Is that the same foundation? Then the question on taxation of charity organizations. Are you in the list of charity organizations? And what is your assessment of the actions of the authorities related to that?
Тобто
Yes, there was a model of the work of charity foundation. At the moment, it's been changed, but we do make it to the register of charity foundations that are not being taxed. Yes, we have a full right to engage in humanitarian help and through taking commodities through customs. It's all in the statute and everything remains as it used to be. Any other questions, colleagues? No questions, thank you. We're happy that you're growing and come to us. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good day.